And what it do, man, is James Vergato, a god level genius. Man, we're gonna start off, man, talking about this Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe, man. I don't know if y'all seen it. What a crazy interview, man. It was everything I expected. From the moment I saw he was booked, I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be one of them ones. If you're not familiar with Katt Williams, man, he's a notorious standout comedian, man, and he's known to be very transparent and raw and to the point. You know, he don't hold no punches. And in this interview, I think people that might have been aware of him but never like saw an interview, they may not have even been aware of like how consistent he is, you know, with being raw with his honesty. I ain't into all that astrology stuff, but you know, we Virgos, man. So like, we don't really play, man. Like, if we don't like somebody, we gonna say we don't like somebody, and we just gonna call it how it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Cat called out a lot of people, man. Even I mean, watching this interview, man, I was getting the vibes of a Tupac interview, and I prayed for Cat Williams in this interview, man. Like, cause it the energy he had in that interview, it just seemed like somebody that's like on their in their last days type vibes, where they just like, you know what, let me go and get this on camera because they finna take me out. I mean, Cat was saying everything about everybody, and he wasn't trying to speak in metaphors. He was calling it straight down the middle. But that's what he know to do. He talked about him and Luda was at an Illuminati meeting, and they gave them well, that was like between the two of them, one of them had to choose to cut their hair and their sideburns because they didn't want like that as a look anymore, and they would be offered a, you know, 200 million for like a 10 movie deal or 20 movie deal or something like that, where they get 10 million a movie. And he was like, one individual is Ludacris and the other one is Katt Williams. And he went in on Ricky Smiley. He went in on Faison Love. He went in on the Kings of Comedy with everybody but DL Hughley. He went in on Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey because he was saying how much Steve was jealous of Bernie. And if you familiar with Cat, like, this ain't nothing new. So a lot of people, this is breaking news. The only thing I was really shocked about in this interview was when he spoke about, you know, Ricky Smiley. Um, Basically, I didn't know they had like a lot of tension or whatever, but basically, Ricky Smiley was, you know, according to Cat, was fronting on him from the jump because he felt like he was supposed to be Money Mike. You know what I'm saying? Out of Friday After Next. And I don't know, even in the parallel universe, I could never picture Ricky Smiley being um, Money Mike. I couldn't see him playing a pimp. Um, and for the longest, and this ain't no shot at him, um, but for the longest, I never even knew that was Ricky Smiley that played the crackhead, you know, in the next Friday movie that was or Friday After Next. I didn't know that was Ricky Smiley that played like the, you know, the crackhead Santa Claus. I mean, some people think that was Santa Claus, but that was really a crackhead that dressed up as Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? And I had been knew that, but some people really think that was a Santa Claus. It was like, no, that was a crackhead that dressed as Santa Claus. And for the longest, I didn't even know that was Ricky Smiley. You know what I'm saying? Because of how the character, you know, was so like messed up in the face and so dark. I couldn't make that out. But yeah, he called that out. Um, Shannon Sharpe struck gold with that interview, man. That interview is probably gonna be one of the highest rated interviews, and it might be some phone calls get made. Well, ain't no might. Shannon definitely gonna get some phone calls from people who done been on that couch or, you know, been on that platform because he didn't got caught up in the middle, you know what I'm saying, of the strays. But it also, you know, was a lot of wisdom and a lot of jewels by Katt Williams that he dropped. You know, when he was talking about, you know, being homeless, and Katt was saying how um you know, he been around the world and seen a bunch of different places, you know what I'm saying? Not He done been in all 50 states in the United States and been overseas, and he said all people are the same. And that's something that people need to know. And I've never met Katt Williams, but I've been following him since I was like in the 7th grade. Um, Back when I lived in a trailer and we watched his first stand up. And I've been hearing the same stories about him since then, that he's a giver. A guy from my city, man, that rap. I don't know where he was at. He might have been on a little tour or something, or doing a gig out of state. But he was trying to give Katt Williams some free merchandise. And Katt Williams, not only did he not take the merchandise for free, um, he gave him like $100, and I think he signed a T-shirt and gave it back to him, or he said, you know what I'm saying, give me another shirt, you know what I'm saying, but I also want to, bless you with this. So Katt was talking about, and then I seen like in comments over the years, I will always see somebody have a story that when they was in his state, Katt did something for him. Like I remember a guy said he worked at Foot Locker. Katt came to get some shoes, and he was telling him how much he rocked with him and all that. And Katt was just like, in the comment section, he said Katt gave him some money, told him, get it if he ain't have a girl, just come to the show, and you got these front row tickets. I'll make sure you leave with a girl, type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Katt said like, if he get 100,000 for a show, he give 10,000 back to that whole city. You know what I'm saying? As a tie, meaning like either he going to a homeless shelter or he just giving back to random people or whatever. And I believe it, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I've been hearing these type stories for years. So it wasn't all just an attack on people in the industry, but he was just bringing forth like his thesis of the whole interview was, it's a war going on, and it's God's side and it's them. And he's saying, what side he on. And he just calling out, the industry. And, it's just a lot of people, calling out a lot of stuff right now, man. It's like we really in some real times of ain't nothing a secret no more. Nobody hiding nothing. I mean, like Katt went as far as to say Ricky Smiley and Tyler Perry best role is dressing like a woman. When even Katt said he made it in his contract, if he worked with Ricky Smiley, the man gotta have a dress on. And that actually happened because when he did the movie First Sunday, Ricky Smiley was in a dress, so it was just a lot to unpack, man. But don't get caught up in him calling out the celebrities and whatever they got going on, because there's fake people everywhere. It's just he's a famous comedian. He's calling out people in that industry, but he was putting a lot of game on life lessons and giving back to the world and following the universal laws and honoring God's commandments and stuff. Like that's what I really enjoyed the most out of that. Because he was talking about how much he's been given. And anything that he really needs, he always gonna have it, regardless of where he at in the world or regardless of what he going through. That was one of my biggest takeaways from watching this interview with Shannon Sharpe. But this was one hell of a way to start off the year, man. And Shannon Sharpe does an exceptional job with those interviews. So, man, if you haven't watched that interview, man, it's worth your time, man. It's like watching a movie. It's like 2 hours. Shannon Sharpe interviews Katt Williams. If you made it this far to the video, man, I just want to say thank you for watching, man. If you don't know, my name is James Vergado, man. Please subscribe to the God Level Genius YouTube channel. Hit the like, hit the notification bell, share it, send it to somebody you think will enjoy this content. And as always, man, be God level. The genius is in you.